All the parts are starting to fit together. It looks like we are going to war with Iran and also China. We have this story today that Salman Rushdie has been stabbed. Now listen to this. He has been stabbed 33 years after Ayatollah Khomeini issued his fatwa from Iran. The book was called The Satanic Verses. Now the picture they show here of Salman Rushdie lying on the floor, well, he looks a lot thinner. Let's just say that. Now this incident, this stabbing has happened 33 years after that fatwa. So let me just show you here. Now notice Salman Rushdie's name. Rushdie. So his name is Rushdie, and that's what looks like has happened. So here we go. Salman Rushdie, fatwa issued 33 years ago, and he's just been stabbed in the neck. What I will tell you is that all of it, is a construction. Iran is a construction. It is a controlled opposition. And it has been from the very start. It was the West that put Ayatollah Khomeini into power. Ayatollah Khomeini, his father worked for Iranian oil, which became BP oil. There are rumours that his father was a British man. There is a conspiracy in Iran that he was an agent. I have made 2 videos on my channel. I will link them. It explains a lot about the whole US-Iran issue. Iran was created as an enemy for Israel, as Israel needs an enemy. You need an enemy to expand. So that is why they created this regime. Before Khomeini, they had the Shah of Iran. The Shah of Iran was a puppet, a US puppet, but when they replaced him with the other regime, that was also a CIA coup, because they needed an enemy for Israel. If you want Israel to expand, if you want this whole scenario of World War III, you have to organise it, and you have to have the enemy, you have to have the bad guy. Now Iran has been controlled by the British Empire since the mid-1850s. And the British Empire is run by the Rothschild family. The richest family in Iran was a family called the Sassoons, and they were involved in the opium trade to China. And they became very rich, and they intermarried with the Rothschilds. And one of the Sassoons is actually the Minister of Trade, he's unelected, for the UK. So the Sassoon family and the Rothschild family intermarried, and they were the 2 richest families of that time. And they had one was a Sephardic heritage, and the other one was an Ashkenazi heritage. And they both married together, the 2 richest families. And Iran, all the time since the mid-1800s, has been controlled by the West, by Britain, and then the control was handed over to America. And so, in 1979, the G7 had a meeting, and they decided to put Khomeini into power. So the G7 in 1979, G7, G is 7, and also the 7 of Freemasonry, so 7-7. So here's where the 7-7 code. In 1979, the G7 decided to put Ayatollah Khomeini into power. I have done 2 videos about it on my channel. I will link them, and this will explain the whole situation, how this is all a setup, all a construction leading us to World War III with Iran and China. And all these events of this year and last year, and all of it is one huge build-up to it. And so we read here in The Guardian that Khomeini had extensive links with the CIA throughout his whole life. And it was the BBC that issued propaganda that got the Iranian Revolution started. So all these revolutions, they're all created by the West, like the Russian Revolution. They're all Western-backed coups, and they're there to create the world as they wanted to organise it. And so we have this attack on Salman Rushdie 33 years after the fatwa from Khomeini. And this is how the real world works, that events are constructed way in advance, and they have their actors in place to create the scenarios which then will take us to where we go. And that's exactly what's happening now. And so you can look at history and you can see that Benito Mussolini, who was a socialist and a Freemason, was recruited by MI5, and he was given his start in politics in 1917 by MI5, and he was given £100 a week at that time. So Benito Mussolini was a British agent, and he was actually knighted, and he was a member of the Order of the Bath. Now, the Order of the Bath is a Masonic knighthood in the UK, and he was knighted with this. And the Labour leader today, Sir Keir Starmer, is a member of the Order of the Bath. So Sir Keir Starmer has the same membership as Benito Mussolini of a Masonic knighthood here in the UK. So Benito Mussolini was knighted here in England, and he was a British agent. And this is how the real world works. And Benito Mussolini was also an actor, and that is a fact. His style was all rehearsals and acting. And it's interesting that the verses are called the Satanic Verses, which got Rushdie into trouble. And you can see that all of it, is a satanic plot from the start. This Israel-Iran war, this construction, is, as you see, the Satanic Verse is a satanic plot. And we have this story today, 33 years after the fatwa, and a guy who they say is Salman Rushdie, they say has been stabbed, and he looks a lot thinner, with a strange ear and big nose than the author. So this guy, they tell you, is the guy on the floor. Please watch my 2 videos on Iran. I will link them. Thank you.